Hi, welcome to this orientation to Brightspace. Now, the orientation I'm going to give you is not to a specific course, but instead is to general Brightspace functions that you will use quite frequently. Your actually specific class might look a bit different than the one that we're using in this video. So, when you open up your class, you're going to see what you see in front of you, which is the home page of your Brightspace course. You may have different kinds of announcements from your teacher, such as a welcome here message. On the right here, you're going to see a link to tutor.com, which your teacher may or may not have you use, but it's also something that you can use on your own. You're going to see a list of your courses based on the semester. You're going to see a calendar that will have different activities listed on it depending on how your teacher sets up your courses. For example, here we're going to see when this quiz begins, or when it's due, but also when it ends. The basic difference there is if it says due, that doesn't mean that the quiz closes on that date. If it says availability ends, that means you can't take it after that day and time. You'll also maybe see some writing assignments. And then down here is where you can get a link to go to the web version of your student email. Up here, you're going to see what we call the waffle. This is going to list any other classes that you're enrolled in. You can see a link to any kind of message alerts. Notifications will be based on what you have set up in your profile, which you can see, like coming down here, you can see different kinds of announcements and notifications that you can have set. I'm not going to go into that, but you can play around with that if you want. And then we have different tools that are available here. This first will always take you back to the home page. Content is where probably most of your course information is going to be. It certainly is for my classes. Discussions will take you to the discussion board. Activities are going to take you to quizzes, to assignment folders, to discussion boards. And then if your teacher uses any of these, they will also take you directly to there as well. Here you're going to see a link to your grades, a list of the class, and then again, if your teacher uses any of these right here, you can link to them as well. You can check your progress. There's other Brightspace tools. There is a locker that you can upload files to. It doesn't hold a lot, but it can be a place for you to park files. And then if your teacher uses the attendance file or system in Brightspace, you can also check that here. So let us go to the content page to see what is a typical setup that most teachers have. So you're going to see here an overview. Sometimes a teacher might put the syllabus or a document here. They might not put anything there. Again, that's just a different teacher preference. You might have different bookmarks the teacher has set up there. And then if you click here, you may see a click schedule. So here, these are things that are overdue. Here, these are things that are upcoming, and then you can click here and see the full schedule. This is a sample class, so there's not a whole lot listed here that's actually set to be due. Just a few things to give you an idea of what that looks like. You can also use the search topics here if you're looking for a particular unit, particular file name, or something like that. You can also use this to search the entire table of contents. Your teacher is going to have probably different modules set up. For example, in my class, I have a help module that has different submodules for particular help handouts for students. And then I generally do a week 1, week 2, week 3 kind of layout. Again, this is going to be something that different teachers will do differently. In my class, I tend to have it split up into Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, whatever it is, with links to all the assignments. But again, different teachers and different classes are going to have different kinds of setups. So again, you just need to know that the content page is where you can go to get a lot of information and adjust to however your teacher has those things set up. If we're going to do a discussion board, this is where you will find it in different kinds of forums. To do a discussion, you're just going to click on the link, and then you're going to say start a new thread. You're going to enter a subject. Now you might want to make sure you're reading the assignment very carefully. The teacher may ask you to use a very specific subject line, oftentimes including your last name, so it's easy to see who's posting what. They might not have a preference. So again, you can just do whatever you think makes sense. So this is a typical first post for online courses, is just something that asks students to write a little bit about them. So I won't write a whole thing. But again, you can see the general directions here are very broad and specific, but there is a word limit. So you want to make sure that you are meeting that limit. It says to revise and edit, so you want to make sure that you do that as well. And then when you get done, you're just going to hit post. And that's it. Now this one says to read and respond to 5 other posts. So that basically means that you're going to come back and you're going to read a post, and then there should be a place to respond to the thread right there. And so again, your teacher will have different requirements. You just need to read those carefully. Under activities, you're going to see assessments. This is where all quizzes and testing will be uploaded. So here we can see quite a few things. This one has a syllabus quiz that's due. So when you come in, you're going to see instructions, perhaps, due date and all that. You're going to hit start assessment. Your teacher may require you to use respondus monitoring. That's a different thing that you'll have to, you should have explanation of from the teacher how to use that. But generally quizzes and tests run pretty much the same. You're just going to come in here and answer. I'm just answering randomly here. And sometimes you might see more than one question on a page. Sometimes you'll see just one question on a page. That again depends on how the teacher has it set up. Now it's really important that you hit submit assessment, or else your answers will not be turned in, right? And then you're going to see what you made. Oh, randomly I made a 50, yay. And again, you may have feedback provided. The teacher may set this up so that you can see what the answer was and what the correct answer should have been. Sometimes teachers will just give you the score. That's again up to teacher's preference. The other thing to do under activities is assignments. This is where you will upload files. So this is what it's going to look like. You can see here the pre-writing is due January 17th. So you click there. You may have all of the instructions right here. The instructions may be in a separate file that you just have to read and then respond. But basically what you're going to do is you're going to, in this case, write in a different file, and then you're going to upload it. So to do that, you're going to save, oh, sorry. You're going to hit add a file, and notice up here, let me cancel. Notice here it says allowed file extensions. In my class, students can only use DOCX file extensions. So you want to make sure that if your teacher limits to what kind of file extensions you're allowed to use, that you're saving your file in whatever that right file format is. And if you're confused about that, ask your teacher. When I'm going to get a file, I could have uploaded it into my locker here in Brightspace. I might have it in a OneDrive or a Google Drive, or I might be on my own computer. So I'm just going to locate the file. I'm going to double check that it's the correct one. I'm going to hit add, and then I'm going to hit submit. And then I should see this submission page right here. But I will also get in my student email a response receipt that says that I did indeed upload this file. It'll give the file name, it'll show the folder that I uploaded it to. You should save those specifically, so if something happens and your file didn't get, for some reason, into Brightspace, you can show that to the teacher as evidence that you did get it done at the right time. When I'm done, I can hit done. Right? And then it shows one file submission. Should I, if I accidentally uploaded the wrong file, I can click this. I can come back here and download it again. I'm sorry, I can download it here if I want. I'm sorry, if I want to resubmit, I'm just going to click pre-write again, and I'm going to hit add a file. I'm going to choose a different file this time. Add, and then I'm going to say overwrite. Now, again, your teacher may only allow you to submit one file only. As long as the assignment is older, you may you may be able to upload a different file if you did the wrong one. If you find out that you did upload the wrong file, but the folder is closed, I would say contact your teacher as soon as possible. Now, once you have been given feedback, you're going to come here and see that when you click on the assignment folder, you can see here what you had the grade, and then you're going to see the feedback. And if you click that, it says unread, then here is the feedback the teacher will have given you. If they actually use a rubric that is built in Brightspace, then you can also see where you scored on the rubric. And so that's how you find the feedback. You hit done, and again, the feedback is always there for you to go back and read over and over again. When it comes to grades, if you click grades, you're basically going to see a list of all of the assignments. If there was feedback written into the comment section, you're going to see that here, but you're going to see the grades that you have made. See, there's that F on that syllabus quiz, you know, as the system populates, right? And you'll see up here how many points you've earned by how many total points, and then what your overall grade average is. So again, if you're not seeing the grades, you should contact your teacher and just ask if they're available. Teachers have to update the gradebook a certain amount of times a semester, depending on the class. That schedule is a bit different. English classes, because of the nature of grading, we don't update or have to update as many times as a more traditional lecture-oriented class. But I believe that every class has to update the gradebooks about 4 times a semester. If you're not seeing the grade, it could be that there is a setting that has gone awry. Brightspace Gradebook is a booger to use, and sometimes they'll change settings on us and we won't realize it until a student says, hey, I'm not seeing that, and we'll realize that they have done something and we have to do it a different way. So just, you know, very politely contact your teacher and says, hey, I haven't seen my grades. Can you tell me, are they available yet? Something like that. Okay. All right. That's basically how you do the most essential things in Brightspace. If you're having problems with Brightspace, it's not working, the first thing to do is always to log off and log back in, then maybe shut down and reboot. Try a different browser. I'm using Copilot from Edge right now. Brightspace really likes Google Chrome, so I would say one of those two are the ones you want to use. It could be that there's something wrong with your computer, so try a different computer. You can also do just about everything on your phone. So, you know, you can take quizzes, you can post to discussion boards, you can get your assignments. So you might try that. If it's not working on every device that you're using, then obviously there's something wrong, and that's when you want to contact the teacher to let them know. They might not be able to fix the problem. I will say sometimes the error is something that I can fix because I have hit a wrong setting, or I just need to refresh something or redo it, because sometimes Brightspace glitches and it's something that I can control. But a lot of times when it's a problem on the student side, I really can't do anything about it. I can let you know, though, to contact IT. IT@sscok.edu is the address. Again, that is your responsibility to make sure that your equipment is working. So if it is a problem on your end, contact the teacher as soon as possible to make sure it's not a Brightspace setting, that it's your problem. And then you've got to get that work done, whether that means coming up to one of the computer labs and using it on campus, going to a public library. You know, it's your responsibility as an online student to have a backup system so that you can get the work done on time, no matter what the problem is. I hope that helps you understand how to get around Brightspace. You can always email me at k.mcbride@sscok.edu if you have other questions about Brightspace. I'd be happy to answer to them. Good luck.